God, this is gonna be a really shitty video. So a few days ago, President Trump signed an executive order that had to do with the U.S. refugee policy that basically is going to temporarily ban Muslims from certain countries from entering the United States. It has to do with refugees and immigrants. And, you know, naturally people started losing their minds and they started calling it a Muslim ban. But that's not accurate. It's much more complicated than that. And mainly because there's a lot of Muslims that can still enter the country because the main countries that have the largest Muslim populations are still allowed to come to the United States. They're not banned from coming to the United States whatsoever. And then if you look at the list of countries that are actually on there, you see there's a direct correlation with Islamic terror, like terrorist threats. And it's not just something that President Trump just cooked up out of nowhere. This actually goes back to, like, say, lists that Obama and his administration made, because they're like, these countries have links to terrorism and we need to watch out. And there's actually been temporary bans and stuff like that before. This is kind of business as usual, but because it's Trump and people are painting him as the most racist motherfucker ever, calling him a Nazi and everything under the sun, that the mainstream media is making this much bigger than it actually is. So the situation is FUBAR. It's pretty fucked up, and I must admit that there's no like real winners here. Yeah, a lot of people in the United States will feel a lot safer, but at the same time, at the cost of a lot of people that can use some help, you know, just being completely rejected. And you can't blame like just Americans, and you can't just say that they're all racist and they're all fucked up and stuff, because like I said, it's much more complicated. It goes back to a lot of things that would happen. You know, there's a lot of like consequences, blowback, casualties of wars, proxy wars in particular. I don't want to go deep into it, but the whole thing is that there's a lot of things that we could have avoided. Maybe if a lot of people were paying attention to, you know, the foreign politics and foreign affairs in the first place, talking to Americans in particular, you know, maybe a lot of things wouldn't happen. And now it's like, oh, you have Trump trying to maybe undo some stuff, maybe trying to protect people, and now he's just racist. It doesn't matter what the fuck he does. Everything that he does is he's gonna be fucking racist. I think it's a little bit funny. It's obviously pretty fucking annoying, but you know, we gotta kind of cut this shit out, you know, because now we're having other ridiculous shit come out because of this. So immediately the outrage culture started protesting at the airports, you know, just to show how frustrated and how angry they are. You know, obviously they're gonna protest pretty much everything that Trump does. Fine. At this point, it's, hey, it gives me something to talk about. But also something interesting happened where you had the taxis that were like, fuck this shit, you know, we're not gonna pick people up and stuff like that. And then so you had Uber taking the opportunity. They're like, oh well, fucking we'll pick you up, you know, we like money.
I like money.
We'll help you guys out. And people started freaking the fuck out and created yet another hashtag campaign, hashtag delete Uber. And of course you have the competition of Uber Lyft. They wanted to fire back, so they came off the message saying this is just deplorable, and basically we are gonna shit all over Uber and be like, we're fucking awesome. And of course they made it on like the top 10 like Apple Store, like, you know, list of downloaded stuff, because fuck Uber, right? You know, and the thing is though, you know, this is gonna blow over in a little bit and people are gonna re-download Uber again because, you know, they have places to go. So then I thought that was pretty much gonna be it. I was like, all right, that's fucking stupid that we're reaching these heights of just over exaggeration like you can expect from these progressive liberals and whatnot. But of course it wasn't done yet. There had to be more bullshit, and it comes from the conservative camp. Enter Boycott Starbucks. So one of the biggest things that conservatives are concerned about is having a lot of people, a lot of immigrants and migrants come in and be like, hey, you know, I guess we would be okay if they came in, but they need to contribute to society. They can't just be bums or whatever the fuck, right? And so you have the Starbucks CEOs like, you know, okay, then what we're gonna do is give fucking 10,000 migrants some jobs, you know, some refugees or whatever. And they started losing their fucking minds. They're like, fuck Starbucks, and we need to boycott the fuck out of them. Oh man. And then I cannot express how much I fucking hate hashtag campaigns. I'll use them ironically and shit like that, but I can't, like, do you guys really feel like you're gonna do something? Do you really think you're gonna fucking change the world with a goddamn hashtag? But as much as I hate the hashtag campaigns, my curiosity got the best of me, so let's look at a couple of these fucking things. Black American unemployment rate is double the national average, but Starbucks is looking to hire foreigners. Hashtag boycott Starbucks. You raise a very good point, Tennessee, but here's the thing, and let's be real here. Niggas don't wanna work.
He ain't lying.
Let me bring something up real quick. You know, when I really needed a job, I would go to a job agency, and 99.9% of the time I would get a job within that same week. There's a lot of work available, and unfortunately there's some people that don't know about it, and then there's a lot of people that do know about it, but they think they're too good for that shit. And there's a lot of niggas that think they're too good for that shit, and they just don't want to fucking work that badly. I'm sorry, but it's not that there's just like, oh, there's absolutely no work available. There's just a lot of lazy ass motherfuckers, you know. And I'm not gonna just blame it on the niggas. I'm just saying, you know, like, don't fucking just bring that shit up like all of a sudden if they left open those jobs, a lot of brothers and sisters are just gonna go running after them. God damn, I'm gonna be called a coon after this one. Shout out to Boycott Starbucks, so I know when I get my quad shot caramel macchiato, I won't have to wait on a long line full of racists. I have a dream that one day we will live in a world where you won't be called a racist for simply having a differing opinion. Instead of hiring 10,000 American veterans, hashtag Starbucks has decided to hire 10,000 refugees, calling on all Americans to hashtag boycott Starbucks. You know, it would really be nice if we actually did help out the veterans, but unfortunately, it's abundantly clear that nobody like really gives a fuck on average. That sucks. I mean, I really think it sucks because a lot of my closest friends are veterans, and it's just like, god damn, you know, but I guess let's just boycott Starbucks. Yeah. I didn't see very many interesting tweets with hashtag delete Uber, but I did see that the CEO of Uber, after the whole thing happened, he was like, oh shit, you know, let me pledge like $3 million to families that are affected by the immigration ban. And I'm just like, oh yeah, good cover. That's nice. You know, hey, money's still good, it doesn't matter where it comes from. So you liberals shouldn't be fucking angry and be like, oh, fuck your money or whatever. But there's one thing that I really want to fucking bring up. Why are taxi services getting political? I mean, what is happening, man? Like, I don't fucking get it at all. I'm pretty sure there's people that are just fucking furious. I'm sure there's a lot of taxis that are like, what the fuck, man? Like, I need to make some money, and now Uber's probably taking all the fucking competition. Like, it's so stupid. It's so stupid. The best thing to do is stay apolitical and just keep fucking making your money. But nah, we can't do that. Everybody needs to get politically involved nowadays. It's fucking stupid. Now, on the flip side of that, I do want to commend people that are getting involved in politics that normally don't, because you have a lot of people like celebrities and whatnot, they're shooting their mouths, usually like, say, on the left. They're not afraid, especially since things in the United States with the media and everything are mostly liberal. So you have a lot of conservatives that are being very quiet, or people that are just kind of in the middle that are just, you know, a little skeptic, and they're just worried about how things are going with political correctness and outrage culture and stuff. And then I like to, you know, at least commend people that are kind of stepping out of their shell and saying like, hey, what the hell is going on, you know? So I just want to give a shout out to somebody like John Tron, and hopefully other people are going to start, you know, saying some stuff to you, and because I know a lot of you recognize how crazy shit's going. I mean, it's one of the reasons why a lot of you even watch videos, like my videos in particular, in the first place. You understand that there's this weird shit going on. You have fucking hashtag campaigns that are so fucking stupid that I'm like, why am I talking about this? I feel stupid for talking about this, but I gotta talk about it. I don't know, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I haven't purely understood the power of the hashtag. You know, maybe I need to just get the ball rolling. Maybe I need to create something for myself, you know, and then maybe I'll actually understand why everybody loves them so damn much, you know? So I don't know, on the fly, let me just think of something like hashtag fuck everything. Fuck everything, I think that's good. Maybe hashtag give me sweet death. I like that. Let's just do that, and I'm gonna start using that after every tweet, and let's see if it maybe changes something. Maybe people are gonna be a hell of a lot safer, and there's gonna be much more unity in the world, you know, if everybody wants to die. Anyway, that's all I'll have to say on these subjects. You know I don't know that much on the subject of the Muslim ban and everything. I just have a general understanding, you know, kind of a clueless analysis. So, you know, if you guys disagree with me, let me know. If you have anything to add, you know, just put it in the comment section. You know, I'm gonna read all this stuff, and maybe you guys can just fucking educate me, because I don't know, I'm fucking, like I said, I'm kind of stupid sometimes. Well, you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video.